and welcome to another tip for the ride. My name is Alice Trindle. We'll be talking today about the use of the garrocha, a 13-foot long bullfighting pole originally used by the Doma Vaquera of Spain. I've talked to you a little bit before about how to introduce this to yourself in the body movements on the ground. Now let's take it up here in the saddle and show the kinds of things that this 13-foot long pole can kind of help you with. As a reminder, you don't need anything fancy. This is just a pole that's from the Home Depot, and somewhere between 11 and 13 feet is probably about what you're going to want depending on how tall the horse is. Allegra being pretty tall here, I definitely have my 13-foot long pole here today. So let's get started. I'm going to introduce to you a few things that you again have practiced on the ground to begin with, but now you've added it here on the saddle. Keep in mind that you may want to introduce this with your horse with a partner here on the ground to be able to kind of hold the garrocha as you go around, allow you to be able to drag it a little bit and let them get very comfortable with it being in both eyes, behind them, in front of them, and really do your sensitizing drills with this before you get on board or once you're on board with a partner there on the ground. The first move we're going to do is just to help us to establish a perfect circle. That's a big thing that this garrocha can help us do. My goal here is to leave it in one spot and me be able to ride a circle without drifting back and forth on the distance of the pole. I.e., if it stays in one spot, I'm probably doing a balanced, perfect circle. With all of our work, I'm going to prepare my horse and prepare my body, see that picture in my mind's eye before I start, and then breathe forward. I'm holding the garrocha in the U shape here in my hand to be. My focus is there at the point of the garrocha, and I'm asking my horse to keep a pretty good rhythmic feel as we go forward. Left hind, right hind, left hind, right hind, left hind, right hind. A good working walk. I'm going to practice just a little and see if I could just put this on my shoulder and put my hand in a traditional Doma Vaquera position, thumb forward, right here at the seam, and see if I can keep this circle. You can see I'm not doing quite a perfect circle, or I wouldn't move in and out. I'd stay right here at one spot. But what a great way to practice. Notice how the garrocha is helping me to keep my focus to the inside, keep that outside shoulder and hip moving forward, keep the inside hip slightly back, the legs approached at the girth, and slightly back on that outside, just enough to keep the hind end from winging out. A nice, perfect circle. My balance is a little bit towards the tip of the garrocha. Now let's move on to one of our basic moves. We're just going to call this a half turn towards the tip. You'll notice that I've come out here to the very end of the garrocha to give myself a little bit of room. I'm going to see in my mind's eye before I go that I have my horse come around my right leg, the leg closest to the tip of the garrocha, tipping her nose towards it. As we go under, we'll reshape her to the left, using my left leg and my focus to help. Here we go. Ready? Lift the garrocha up, bring her on through, reshape now around my left leg. I'm holding the garrocha again in that U shape that we talked about earlier here in my hand. Keeping my focus to the inside on the tip. That allows my outside hip to ride forward, my inside hip to come back slightly, and the horse to keep their focus slightly to the inside as well. Let's do the same move, going the opposite direction. My hand will still be in the U position. I'm going to leg yield my horse a bit out away from the tip, lift it up, change legs, reshape her around my right leg, and come on back through. No change of hand position, pretty much in the U shape the whole time. You'll want to practice this until it's just nice and fluid for you. So there's no little hiccup, there's lots of forward motion the whole time as she comes on through here, stepping those feet with lots of forward. Now you'll notice we've gotten pretty close to the center. So here's another big thing that the Garrocha can help me to do, is learn how to sit correctly for my leg yield and my half pass postures. If I want to make the circle bigger, if I want to move away from the tip, I have to leg yield my horse outward. I'll put my left leg on in this case. I'll bring my balance away from the tip, and I'll relax my right leg, and the horse moves out into that. You'll notice that it wasn't that I opened that right leg, but rather just relaxed it and brought my balance to the outside. So much of what we have to do with our lateral moves have to do with balance and very little with pressure. Let's watch that again, but if I wanted to reverse that and bring my horse closer to the tip, still keeping her mind and her eye tipped towards the tip of the Garrocha, I'm going to relax my left leg, put my right leg back, and ride her in towards the tip in a half pass type top posture. Now let's leg yield her out. Sit away from the tip, and the horse moves out sideways. Sit towards the tip, and the horse moves back in towards the tip. Sit away, and half pass back in. She's a little more reluctant to do the half pass. Most horses are. It's a little more difficult. I'm going to prepare to do a turn towards the tip. I'll leg yield out, lift it up in my U shape here in my hand, and bring my horse right on through and right out. Those are turns towards the tip. I get my horse shaped around the inside. I bring her nose. I engage the new inside leg, and out we go. I ask my horse to shape here towards the tip. I engage my right leg, which is the new inside, and off we go. Turns towards the tip. Now let's work on doing a turn away from the tip. Here I have to turn my hand over. Moving from the U shape, I'm going to turn it over ahead of time. Just bringing my fingers in underneath and turning my hand upside down for the U. Now my palm is up towards the sky, where before it was down towards the ground. I'm going to ask my horse to turn away from the tip, engage the new inside leg, and bring the horse on through. Then I might turn my hand over just because it's more comfortable to carry it here in the U shape. Watch it again. Here's a turn away. Turn my hand over ahead of time. Now my palm's up towards the sky. Lift it up, engage that new inside leg, right out, and as I do, I'll turn my hand back over again. If your arm starts getting tired, which it sure does, rest a little bit right there on your shoulder. I think I'll half pass in here. See if she can step in. Nice. Good. Now let's see if she can leg yield out. Right hind, left four, right hind, left four, right hind, left four. Good. We made it. Excellent. About balance and focus. Very little about pressure. The last little maneuver we're going to work on here today is a complete turn. On this one, it's a combination of coming into the middle and then away from the tip. You do half a turn towards the tip, half a turn away. So you can imagine you're going to need to turn your hand over during this maneuver. I'm going to start it right here in the U shape. Come halfway in. I'll really do this in slow motion. Right here, turn my hand over so that the palm is up, and bring the horse on out, turn it over one more time, and I'm ready to ride out. It's a combination of turning towards the tip and turning away from the tip. Here we go again. I'm in the U shape here with my hand. Ride the horse into this tip, turn my hand over, bring the horse on through, turn the hand over one more time. I could do the same thing going away from the tip and need to turn the hand ahead of time. So let's try one of those. Turn my hand over ahead of time, ride away from the tip, ride to the tip, turn it back over, and there we ride out in this U shape. As with all Doma Vaquera work, and work with the Garrocha, it's all done slow and right to begin with, at the walk, and not at the trot, then moved up into the canter work. The last little drill we're going to do today is a fun one, and how to kind of pick up your Garrocha in a flowing way. I'll turn her nose here towards the tip of the Garrocha, put it on my shoulder, and then just ride her straight towards the tip. As we ride up, it comes on my shoulder, and I'll just balance it here. Now we can work on maybe just a little bigger work. And I can use the Garrocha to draw on my horse's eye here in the circle. Draw, 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 draw. Or I could use it to push my horse's eye here on the outside. Push, 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 push. Nice. There you have it. A few nice, well, simple but not easy maneuvers to practice with this 13-foot long Garrocha. I sure hope you pick one up at the store. It's a very economical way to get started in learning about some of the traditions of the Spanish Doma Vaquera, and it's also a great way to learn about your balance, your pressure, your focus, and your timing. What a nice way also to get your horse brave. This horse tends to not be so sometimes, so this is excellent work for Allegra, particularly considering we haven't ridden her too much this summer. She is a horse that is for sale, and if you're interested in a nice big Lusitano quarter horse cross, a half Lusitano, then give us a call. So until next time, I'll see you soon, I hope, and next time with the Garrocha on your shoulder.